So today I'm going to be checking out the Honor 200 Lite, a budget phone from Honor released way back in April, but it is still readily available off Amazon at the moment for about 190 quid. So I'm just going to unbox the phone now. I have got a couple of cases as well provided free of charge by Tudia to check out on the phone as well. So let's get into it. So here is the Honor 200 Lite. Like I said, released back in April, but I figured I'd give it a go and check it out. 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and I've got it in Midnight Black. I'm sort of going away a little bit from my, let's pick every bright and garish colour every time. Every so often I do quite like a black. So on top, you get the phone in the nice matte sort of black finish. Let's just peel the sticker off. Somehow eventually managed to get that off. And then if we just pull that cover off. So here we have the Honor 200 Lite. There is a screen protector built on out of the box, which is nice. And it is quite nice in this black finish as well. I've also got the Honor X6B in the same black as well. They just look nice. They look very sleek. There's no gold accent around the camera housing on the 200 Lite as there is on the Honor X6B. More of a sort of silvery ring around there. But this looks really nice. Nice flat sides, glossy plastic on those sides as opposed to the matte plastic on the X6B. On the right, you just get your power button with integrated fingerprint scanner and volume rocker. On the bottom, USB-C charging port which supports 35-watt charging, speaker grill and a microphone. And then on the top you get another microphone, and then on the left you get your SIM tray. So there's no 3.5mm headphone jack as you'd find on the Honor X6B. See, now there is a reason why I buy the bright colours, is because it's easier to see everything on the phone. But never mind, let's power on, see if she's got any juice. And then in the meantime, let's open up these cases. 1, 2. So 2 cases provided free of charge by Tudia. Dual layers for shock absorbing, clicky buttons and military grade materials. So you should have some nice drop protection. These are available off Amazon if you want to pick one up. I'll leave a link in the description if you do. That fits really nicely and it looks quite nice as well. Let's just check out the black one as well. That looks pretty sleek as well. Now both the Honor 200 Lite and the Honor X6B that I have there are also of course available on Amazon, so I will leave links down in the description if you want to pick up these phones. They are on deals at the moment. So just out of the box, let's set up the... No, I'm not in Canada. I'm in the UK, sadly. So we'll set up the Honor 200 Lite. You get your sort of pill cut out on the top there. Okay, so we're on the Wi-Fi, lovely jubbly. Checking for updates. This normally takes a minute or so. Okay, so I've done those bits and it's just going to get the rest of my account information ready. So you get a large 6.7-inch AMOLED display with a 90Hz refresh rate on this Honor 200 Lite. So that is a really nice improvement over the 720p display on the X6B, which is a 90Hz, but it's just an IPS, sorry, it's just an LCD display, not an AMOLED. So we'll just go through a few of these other bits just to get us onto our home screen. It does take a minute or two, but once you're there, it'll be worth it. We'll set up our Honor ID later on, and we'll set up those in a minute as well. And then you've got the option to select gestures or the 3 keys from the get-go. I will stick on gestures, not the 3 keys. Being an iPhone user, gestures is just easier for me. And there we go. That is the Honor 200 Lite, straight out the box. Unsurprisingly, very similar to the Honor X6B out of the box. But there's no apps tray to begin with, so that's something that we can do when we jump into the settings. And it is very similar, of course, to any other Honor device that you've used. You've got your usual Bluetooth settings, mobile networks, which obviously I can't do because my SIM card's not in there, and then more connections. Oh God. More connections, so you've got NFC for your contactless payments, Honor Share for sharing between devices, wireless protection, Android Auto, etc. And then your home screen style. Because it's an AMOLED display, you can get an always on display, which I won't set just yet, but there are plenty of options if you want to set one. Magazine unlock. It's on, I will turn it off, but what that does is every time you lock your phone and you go to unlock it, a new picture will be up on the screen. And then you've got the options to select a wallpaper, select themes, different icons and fonts, etc. And then if I just jump into home screen style and add that apps tray. So then the home screen looks the same, as does that, but you've also got the option with all of your apps there as well. So jumping back into settings, display and brightness. Of course, you've got the option to flip between light and dark mode and schedule it if you want to. And then the usual display size, fonts, font settings, color temperature, and then the screen refresh rate, you can set it between either 60 or 90 Hertz all the time, or you can flip it to dynamic, which is by default, which just switches between 60 and 90 Hertz depending on what you're doing. And then more display settings, you've got full screen display and display cutout options there. And then notification settings for all your individual apps. You can set your preferences, biometrics and password. So if I set up a fingerprint ID, so if I add a new fingerprint, now there is quite a big dip between the case and the fingerprint scanner on this particular phone case. So it'd be interesting to see how easy it is to use the fingerprint scanner long term with this case on. Might not be quite as easy as just doing a little gentle tap. You've really got to sort of get in there and get the edges of your fingerprint. But it might just be a faff just for this little bit. I don't want to set up face recognition at the moment. So that's the speed of the fingerprint scanner. Unsurprisingly, it's not the fastest, but it is absolutely fine. It's not too bad with that case. Individual app settings you can set in here, not just the notifications, but other bits as well. Battery settings and battery information. So you've got all your power saving modes, your performance enhanced mode, battery icon outside of the battery icon inside, or you can have it off completely. More battery settings there, smart charge and smart capacity. And then you've just got information for your storage, etc. And then if we just do system and updates, we're on Magic OS version 8.0, and we are also on Android 14, which is nice as well. So that's just a sort of settings menu of the Honor 200 Lite. As you can see, there's not a huge amount in terms of bloatware. You've got booking.com, which ironically I actually use quite a bit, and then trip.com, which I never use, so you can just get rid of that straight away. And then of course you've got a few of Honor's own apps like the Tips, Sim Toolkit, their own Notes app, etc. That's fine for me to keep on there, it's not the end of the world. And then if I just grab a little candle and then jump into the camera. So you get a 108 megapixel main camera on the Honor 200 Lite. And that is backed by a 5 megapixel ultra wide, which unsurprisingly isn't going to be very high quality. And then you just got a 2 megapixel macro camera as well. So it's a very similar setup to the Honor X8A that I have done videos on as well, except you get a 108 megapixel main camera instead of the 100 megapixel on that one. And then the selfie camera is upgraded to a 50 megapixel selfie camera. And there we go. Of course, not the best quality. Oh, that was a portrait mode. Yeah, it's not the best quality, but it's okay. And then jumping into that again, if we just flip back around to there and jump into the settings, video resolution, 1080p video, 30 FPS is the highest, and then I would imagine probably going to be the same on here, 1080p, 30 FPS, yeah. And then you get a big 4,500 milliamp hour battery inside the Honor 200 Lite with 35 watts charging. A smaller battery than the 5,200 milliamp hours inside the Honor X6B, but you do get the same 35 watt charging on that phone. So that's just my quick look at the Honor 200 Lite. I will be dropping a full review on this phone over the next few weeks, as well as the Honor X6B. So subscribe so you don't miss out when those videos go live. And I'll see you in the next one.